Right, what you see on the screen here in front of you is it's a Panasonic or SR30, and this was brought to my attention some time ago when Steve Huff done a video on the RRDR60, and he bought this recorder to make a comparison between that and the DR60. Um, Thinking that maybe, possibly, the similar fault in other recorders, and it turned out not to be the case. But he used this recorder as a comparison, and I thought it looked quite quite retro, and the shape, the size, the layout of the buttons. I thought it was brilliant. On the screen there is these little virtual wheels making it look like it's a cassette recorder. I lined this recorder up with a standard cassette tape case, and it's exactly the same size, and it's like that for a reason. It is, sort of replicating the old retro cassette tape recorder, and it's a very nice size. The layout is brilliant. The problem is, as far as I know, it was just made for the Japanese market. Now, playback on this is very, very good because there is a right and left speaker on it. There also on the top of it has a right and left microphone. I cannot do a full review on this until I figure out exactly how to get through the menus and stuff, because all the menus is in Japanese. When you turn the device on, there is a welcome sign saying hello, and at the end, when you turn it off, it says goodbye. Everything else is in Japanese. Now, there's only one other video on YouTube on this recorder, and that video was basically playing some music through it, and basically it was a sort of an audio test of the device. There's no one that actually has done a video on how to set this up, and I can't do one right now until I find some English instructions. This came new, well, in new condition, in a box with some batteries and Japanese instructions. No other language, just Japanese instructions, which gives me the indication that this was made for the Japanese market only. Now, when I press the erase button here,
日付検索画面です。録音日付ごとに録音音声を検索することができます。2014年1月2日木曜日。
it comes out with a load of some lady in Japanese, and we tried to put that in through Google search or Google Translate, and it didn't work out for us so good. So we're probably going to have to look at this somewhere on Google. Maybe somebody has translated the Japanese instructions into English that we can understand and sort of go through the settings properly.
日付ごと録音音声消去画面です。選択した日付に録音された音声をすべて消去しますか？
That's basically it. When I picked it up in my hand, I says, this looks exactly like the size of a cassette tape, and I got a standard cassette case, and I lined it up beside it, alongside it, and it's exactly the same size and shape, and it's that way for a reason. It's sort of replicating the old standard cassette tape. Obviously it's digital. There's there is a headphone socket and a microphone socket, but no USB, which is kind of weird, because it does say on the screen in 2014, but there is no there's no USB transfer method with this recorder. But if when we figure this out, when we figure this recorder out, I'll do a I do a review on it, sort of thing, because sometimes when I get stuff, I like to sort of go through them, kind of thing, and show how to work and that. Also, I have. You might have recently seen some of my sessions with a Sony television. Have to do a video on that. That's a very interesting little television, and there's even a little sort of an enclosure when I opened it. An original crystal earpiece was actually inside it, still inside in that, and it does run on batteries as well. And when I opened the battery compartment, the instructions manual was still inside, and some plastic tubing that sort of holds batteries together and stuff like that. And it looked like it was never used with the batteries and that. That television is from the 1970s, and at some stage I'll do a sort of a little review on that, because that is pretty interesting. You can stand it upright or on its flat, and you can tilt the screen, which is on a round pivot. A very, very interesting design that was. I forgot to mention with the Panasonic ST30, there is a 8 gig inbuilt memory in it. There is no facility for putting any SD cards or nothing. It's just inbuilt 8 gigs inbuilt into the recorder itself. And as I said, no like the DR60, no USB to transfer files, so you have to sort of record them over, sort of thing. Very unusual for a recorder that is kind of modern. So it is kind of a strange product, but as I said, as far as I know, it wasn't brought onto the European market, as far as I know. 2020 was an extremely bad year for more ways than one, and here was a particularly bad one, because we were looking forward to two new products, two new ghost boxes, and those ghost boxes didn't come, and those companies have let down so many people. Now, I'm not going to mention those companies today, but 2 weeks time, it's coming. If I do not get any communication from these two companies, I am going to spill the beans, because this is not very good in the paranormal community. These people, they take your money for you to buy a product, and one of these companies in particular says you cannot have your money back. You're going to have to wait. They don't actually done a video, and I'm going to go through that video piece by piece, and I'm going to rip that company to shreds, because it's not only me that's suffering here. It's many other people. You put a product on the market, you put a product on a website. If you cannot keep up with your orders, you simply withdraw that product temporarily out of stock. But this particular person did not do that, and the snowball effect happened, and he seemed to have forgotten to press the out of stock button, and he came on and done a video with this per me crap. He was very busy and he was moving house and he wasn't expecting the orders to be so much and all the rest of it. That's not on us, that's on you. So, you've got a very, very limited window to sort out this problem, because I'm going to spill the beans pretty soon on two companies that I paid for ghost boxes and I didn't get my product. Now, please, if you know who those companies are, please, take it easy on them in the comments if you know who I'm talking about. But if I don't get satisfaction in a couple of weeks, I'm waiting over a year now, I'm going to spill the beans on all of it, because I'm not here to cause drama, but this kind of behaviour towards people is not very good for the paranormal community as a whole. It doesn't help restore confidence in the industry, if you know what I mean. We're all trying our best here, and if you have a product, make sure that the product is good, and two, don't rip people off. If you cannot deliver that product, give those people their money back. I'm actually entitled to have my money back because I didn't get a product for that money. But I'm going to leave that one at that. I'm not going to make a video just to cause drama and that. We're highlighting an issue here, and yes, there's loads of drama in the ghost hunting community. There's drama in the ITC community too. There's these box builders that are they're fighting amongst each other, and they're all the time bickering, and that needs to stop as well. But at the end of the day, don't be sending out crap, because I've had bad experiences in the past with custom made boxes, but I am going to say that the RTC box that I bought in some way cheered me up, because that was absolutely brilliant. I bought that last year as well. That sort of restored some of my confidence in the industry, but these two other issues are still unsolved. No communication, nothing. So that is coming. The day of reckoning is close at hand, I'm afraid. Over the last year, obviously we couldn't get out and stuff, and people are starting to get back now, and people are asking me, when are you getting out? I'm getting there soon. The reason why I haven't been so far is I'm going through a little bit of a health issue. I don't want to talk about it here. It's not what this is all about, but I will get there. The last year, I got through this last year where we couldn't get out by focusing a lot more on sessions and ITC and learning and stuff like that. Obviously, both myself and Rachel really want to get out and stuff like that. We will get out there soon, but at the same time, we get out there for ourselves. We're not competing against anybody else, and we get out there for ourselves basically, and it does us good as well. But obviously there's been some struggles, but we will get there. We will get there at some stage, and hopefully kind of soon. Might have to take it in baby steps, but we'll get there, sort of thing. Massive thanks to Brett of Wolf Paranormal and Unearthly Wanderings. I've been on a couple of her shows as well. Unearthly Wanderings is in Australia. Brett's in the UK. I've done some co-hosting for Brett over the last year or so, and recently, I've been invited on Julie's Unearthly Wanderings channel, a number of times, and it's great to have that kind of conversations and stuff like that. And I'm going to try and add that because I'm going to try and do these coffee morning chats kind of thing. But sometimes your confidence kind of takes a dip. It kind of goes up and down, sort of thing. It does with me, and that's the reason why I'm not actually on camera as such, and I haven't been very much on camera on my own channel very much in the last year, sort of thing. But I've got no problem going live on other people's channels. It's a kind of a weird one, but I am going to try and add to that little community kind of thing by having some coffee mornings and that. A lot of people that are doing paranormal content, they come on in the evening time and that, and I'm going to try and do some morning chats kind of thing. Obviously, when we go live here in the morning, it's evening time in Australia, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going to try and do a morning thing. But hopefully I'll do that soon, sort of thing. I said that last week, but I'll get around to it, I will. Over the last year, I have been doing a lot of Spirit Box sessions, sometimes once a day, sometimes a couple of days a week, and I decided to put them on a second channel, and I had a second channel that wasn't being used, so I sort of rebranded that channel into Life Afterlife, ITC Research and that, and it's basically, up until this point, it's just all ghost box sessions. And the way it works is, rather than me sort of going, wow, look at this communication I'm getting and stuff like that, I get it, you see it on YouTube and that, and it sort of makes me cringe. So what I do is I do the session, and I just put the whole recording on that channel the way it is. No subtitles, no nothing. And if maybe I might highlight one or two things at the beginning of the video, but that is about it. Because I'm sort of not that kind of a person that, I see it so often, people blowing their own trumpet and showing off, oh look how good I am and all the rest of it. It gets old after a while. So, I'm not on YouTube for that. I do the ITC and I do the paranormal for my own self, sort of thing. People sometimes like watching, of course. I put I put those sessions on there, just completely raw. I don't like altering them in any sort of way. Yes, I used to do that, but I don't like doing that now. I just rather record the session and put it out, and those people that are into ITC will see what's there, and I work on those sessions in the background, and sometimes I'll highlight stuff, sometimes I won't, and a lot of the time I do keep what I find to myself, but the information is in there in those sessions, some of those sessions and that. So it's sort of, you go onto that channel and basically you turn into an ITC investigator. You got to find it, sort of thing. I'm not here to be seen as a great ITC researcher or anything like that. I just love doing the sessions. I love getting, when I get responses. It's uplifting for me and stuff. But that's not on me. It's on the communicators and that, and that's why I put that communication out there as raw as I possibly can. You know, you got lots of people on YouTube that want instant gratification. Uh, that's not me, because at the end of the day, you have to really think about what you're doing, why are you doing it. And there is a lot of people on YouTube, and quite frankly, they're attention seekers. They come on to YouTube to be an attention seeker, and they want to be the next Zach Bagans, or they want to be the next Marcello Bacci or whatever, but they don't want to put in the work. Behind all of this is a lot of learning and work, and some of it is pretty long, boring, reviewing audio for hours and hours and hours, and it's not just a simple case of turning on a spirit box, recording it, and sticking it on YouTube. It goes way deeper than that. But a lot of people do not want to put in the work, and they put themselves out there as paranormal investigators and ITC researchers. More so paranormal investigators. That paranormal investigator word or label is thrown about a little bit loosely at times. Let's say, there's people out there, and they're judging each other by the amount of subscribers and viewers they have. And does that mean on YouTube that because Annabella Cardoso only has 500 and something subscribers that I'm better than she is? Annabella Cardoso has been in the ITC field for many years and has wrote many books. Just because she's got 500 or 600 subscribers and lots of us have more, that doesn't grade expertise or experience in the field. YouTube viewers and subscribers, I don't take that into account at all. As far as I'm concerned, this grading, I got more subscribers than you, so I'm better than you, kind of thing. I think that the whole picture of the paranormal and ITC and stuff like that, a lot of people that are massively into ITC wouldn't touch YouTube with a barge pole. And if so, some of these people, they do have a channel and they talk about the paranormal, but they won't show their investigations. They keep that to themselves, and that actually is a more common thing than you might think. So there is a lot of people out there that's pretty good, but they're not on this platform. They just do their thing. They do their research for themselves. They don't put it out there for public scrutiny or anything like that. Or some people don't want to put their evidence out there because it may show that, am I trying to get attention for this? And that's sort of diverting from what they're actually doing, if you know what I mean. I noticed over the last couple of years on YouTube, you know, me and Rachel go out and we do an investigation and we premiere it out. We have this kind of a small little tight knit community. And, on YouTube it's not always 100% stable, if you know what I mean. Sometimes you have these people that are constantly on your channel, they follow everything you do, and then some drama kicks off, not of your doing, is somewhere else in the community, in the ghost hunting or paranormal community, and they get sidetracked in that. And, that has happened over the last couple of years a number of times, with a number of different incidents. And, you initially think, you've lost people from your community kind of thing, but if that's their mindset, I'm used to it at this stage, and I know that, you lose people, you gain people, and if that's the route that these people want to go, it's just the way it is. But it is kind of sad when these things happen. But outside of those situations, what happens is there is people that want to escape all of that, and that can be a place that they can go. And very often when you have these major drama situations, you actually gain. But the community is constantly changing. What happens is there's something kicks off and people get sidetracked. They go over there, they want to find out exactly what's happening, what's going to happen next, and they get stuck into it. And then you have a couple of individuals that end up being stuck straight into it, and they resort to online bullying. Now, if I'm in the vicinity of those situations and I see people bullying people online, they end up being blocked on this channel because we don't tolerate it here. So, because we want our viewers to be safe, we want our viewers to be safe in communicating with each other. And with those premieres that we've done, it's like a sort of a kind of a get together, and people talk amongst each other, to each other and stuff like that. And I think that's great. But it does. I do find that sometimes it does sort of change. You get new people come in. You get other people that get sidetracked to the negative side. When there's drama kicking off, and at the end of the day, you go into a news agent and you see these magazines and papers and stuff like that, always on the front page. The thing that draws people in is some sort of bad news on the front page of newspapers and magazines, and people are drawn to that negativity and that. And that if that's a person's mindset, that's on them, sort of thing. But if people are involved in confrontations and are insulting and being personal and bullying online, they're not welcome here. And that's one thing that we don't tolerate, because we don't want people that are interested in the paranormal to be bullied by other people and you end up sort of having to um, sort out confrontations and stuff like that. It's not that's that's uh, that's going down a different path of the paranormal altogether, and it happens so often in the paranormal, and we just we stay away from that kind of stuff because it's just not it's not what we do this for. Yeah, yeah, it kind of can put you down. It can affect you in some way, and sometimes I have in the past said, why should I bother doing this on YouTube and stuff like that? But then you have to sit down and say, well, why are you doing YouTube in the first place? Why are you pushing your content on YouTube? You know, what is the main reason you're doing this? And for me, it's a diary for myself. We have some viewers that like watching us go out and like watching our videos and stuff like that, and we do it for ourselves, and it gives us something to focus on, and that for me, that's the main thing for me, you know. And every so often I have to sit down and think about that because you can get drawn to the negative side and think, this is all balls. It's really, really bad, and it kind of puts a dampener on your focus. It kind of diverts your focus, and you sometimes need to sit down and say, you know these situations have got nothing to do with you, but just focus on what you're doing yourself, and that's what I have done a number of times. And a number of times I almost sort of quit, but for me, this is my channel, or if you have a channel, that is your channel. You got that choice to keep that content on the path that you wanted to go, and that's why we don't talk about other people's dramas and stuff. Yes, I get the odd negative comment on me calling out Steve Huff, but I don't make a habit of that. But the reason why I call out Steve Huff is effect on the ITC community as a whole, and sometimes we have to sort of stand up for the ITC community, and in doing a video calling that person out, we're fighting for our community, basically. We're fighting for the truth, and that's why the odd time I have called out Steve Huff, but I'm not into making a habit of it, but when I do a video like that, there is an odd person that would say, oh, we came over here to get away from the drama, and you're doing drama now. That's not the intentions of some of these videos, because, as I says, sometimes we do have to, step up, and some of us, if we're able to do that, stand up for the community, and because we're passionate about the community, we will stand up for it, and but we will make our point, and then we just leave it and get on with our own thing. What's the future plans? The future plans were, before the lockdown, was to get further afield in Ireland and see more places, both in a paranormal sense and in a sort of a tourist sense. We have been to S Castle a couple of times, and actually I've had people that say, we watched a video on S Castle, and we booked a night in there simply because we watched the video and we wanted to stay there. And that's pretty good, and it's free advertising for S Castle. But I like castles and old buildings like that. So, and Ireland is full of them, and we've only touched a tiny percentage of what we can see in this country. So we had planned before the lockdown to go further afield, and that's what we're going to do. Obviously, as well, we're going to continue on with the paranormal investigations, and in that line, we've only touched a fraction of the country as well. So, yes, we will be going back to Dunree. We've done 6 episodes there. And the thing about Dunree is we've done 6 episodes on Dunree. It's in a playlist and stuff like that. The thing is, we've only seen half of it, because I can't get to the other half at the moment because of health issues. But at some stage, I will get to the top of the hill and get to the other areas of the camp that up until now been out of my reach because of my health and that. But at some stage, we will get to these other buildings and that, and do some investigating there, sort of thing. But there's lots and lots of more stuff to see, and I hope to get there. I hope to get to all these great landmarks around the country and stuff like that. Because believe it or not, we've kept within a certain bubble, a certain area around us that we need to start venturing outside of, to see new places and that, and even places nearby, areas around Inishowen and that. I've driven around areas around the coast of Inishowen, and I haven't filmed it, and some really spectacular scenery around the coasts of Donegal and stuff like that. I'm hoping to bring that into the channel as well, because I don't do just paranormal, I do other stuff as well, and that's the stuff I'd like to share and like to document for myself as well, because it's always on my mind. When I drove to Inishowen and drove along the coast, why did I not document it? Because it was fantastic, and we will get to do that at some stage. This, to me, what we've done so far, yes, it's great and that, but it can be so much better, and it can be, because there's so much to see. Folks, I'm going to go because I have to go to the shop and get stuff. I'm running out of bread and bits and pieces and that, so I have to go to the shop and sort myself out for the day and that. But I just thought I would come on and just talk for a little while, rather than just giving you another spur box session sort of thing. And hopefully I'll get these coffee mornings kind of sorted out, and have a sort of a schedule for that at some stage, so people can come on and talk, and get involved in the chats and stuff like that, because I miss doing that. Sometimes my confidence does go up and down, but we'll get there. Folks, I'm gonna go. I'll see you very soon.